Hello and welcome. I'm Rob Ryan. I'm joined by Richard Dargy, and he's going to answer some questions that will help us see what the Bible tells us. This time we're looking at the question, does it matter what we believe? Richard, can you tell us whether it matters what we believe when we are considering the Bible and its teachings?
Well, the short answer is yes, it does matter what we actually believe. This very important question about what we believe arose in the first century church. The question of what we should believe was answered by the Apostle Paul in his letter to the Galatian believers. Paul challenged the Galatians to explain why they had moved away from the original gospel message that he had taught them. He wrote, "I marvel that you are turning away so soon from him who called you in the grace of Christ to a different gospel, which is not another." We can see that they had accepted some different teachings, which Paul refers to as a different gospel. Paul is surprised that they are turning away so quickly from the true gospel. Paul goes on to say that there are some who trouble you and want to pervert the gospel of Christ. He is saying that those who want to change the gospel message corrupt it. Clearly, Paul believes it is important that the message he gave should not be altered. Paul then shows how important this warning is by saying, "But even if we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel to you than that we have preached to you, let him be accursed." Paul then yet again emphasizes the importance of this by repeating his warning. As we have said before, so now I say again, if anyone preaches any other gospel to you than what you have received, let him be accursed. So these verses all show Paul was very concerned that the gospel message should not be changed. It really did matter to Paul what was believed. It is essential that we believe the original gospel message that Jesus and the apostles taught.
You mentioned the importance of believing what Jesus and the apostles taught. What are these teachings and where can we find them?
Well, we can find it by carefully reading the Bible, which has all the teachings. For example, in his letter to the Ephesians, Paul writes, "There is one body and one spirit, just as you were called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all." These few verses teach us that there is only one set of beliefs. Verses like these, and there are many others, teach us the simplicity of the gospel message. Paul was keen for the Galatians to believe this message and not listen to other ideas. If we put together all the teachings from this and other Bible verses, we can work out what the original gospel was.
Okay, I understand that. But there are many different ideas taught by religious leaders. How do we know if any of these ideas are right?
Well, we must look at the Bible and read it for ourselves to check the claims of religious leaders. We're shown a good example by some believers in the first century church at a place called Berea in northern Greece. The record in the Acts of the Apostles says this: "These, the Bereans, were more fair-minded than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness and searched the scriptures daily to find out whether these things were so." The Bereans listened to what had been said and then read the Bible for themselves to check whether what they had heard was supported by the Bible. We should follow their example. We should check everything against what's written in the Bible.
Does this mean we have to do a lot of reading? I mean, the Bible is a very long book. How can we read it all?
Well, the Bible is a long book and it can be difficult to understand. One way we can start to understand it is by following a Bible reading plan. Our Understand Your Bible online plan may help you. Using this plan, you'll read one chapter in the Bible at a time. There is information on each chapter designed to help you understand the Bible for yourself.
That sounds like an interesting approach. Will you tell me more about this Bible reading plan?
Yes, of course. It's a 12-month plan. You look at one chapter each day, or go at your own pace if you prefer. There are questions and summary points for each chapter. These, together with study notes, can help you understand the Bible message. The plan is carefully structured so that you'll learn the basic Bible teachings in the first 7 weeks. The first week of the planner is a taster, showing that the Bible is relevant to us in our world. The next 6 weeks look at the life of Jesus Christ, then at the first century church. The website is www.understandyourbible.org. There's a link to the website on this page.
The plan sounds very helpful. Are you saying that this Bible reading plan will help us correctly understand the gospel?
Yes, that's what the plan is intended to do. We've seen that it's important that we believe and obey the teachings that form the gospel message. The Apostle Paul said that the believers in Rome had obeyed from the heart that form of doctrine. Paul is telling us that there's a fixed body of doctrine or teaching that forms the gospel message. This Bible reading plan will help you discover the gospel message as it was believed in the first century. The message is the same today as it was then. It hasn't changed. God has consistently told us what he wants from us. He wants us to believe in him. This is why it is so important that we find the Bible message for ourselves. Yes, it really does matter what we believe.
Thank you, Richard. We hope you will now have a better idea about the importance of what we believe. You can learn more about this topic by going back to the Life's Big Questions website, or you can choose another topic to look at. Click on one of these.